Welcome back to another episode of NFT Catcher Podcast. We'd like to remind everybody that nothing on the show is meant as financial advice, and to please do your own research. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Now the subject is NFTs.
They're known as non-fungible tokens, or NFTs.
NFTs are exploding in popularity.
This is a technology that will forever change the way people interact.
So it is happening whether you understand it and like it or not.
This phenomenon is moving. The digital.
You have now joined Jenny from the blockchain and Michael Keene on the NFT Catcher Podcast.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the NFT Catcher Podcast with me, Jenny from the blockchain, and my co-host, Michael Keene. For today's interview, our 102nd episode, we have the co-founders of Evaluate, actually previously Evaluate Market and now Evaluate.xyz. We have Christian and Alex, who actually I work for Evaluate, which I'm sure a lot of you guys know. So welcome to the show, Christian and Alex.
Thank you, Jennifer. It's good to be back.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, Christian has been on Sunday Recap briefly. Like you popped in for maybe 10 minutes before, I don't even remember when that was, but several episodes ago. And but now you guys are back and we are here to do an interview because today is a very special day for us at Evaluate. We have launched the first ever live trading tool on Flow and Ethereum with a built-in chat feature as well. And we're super excited about it. And we brought the co-founders on to talk about it. So yeah, that's what this interview is going to be about. But first, we like to get started by hearing our guests' stories on how they got into the space. So Christian, if you want to go first, how did you get into NFTs?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the intro. So I think around 2016, 2017, I had bought crypto for the first time, but very little of it, but didn't pay too much attention until early 2021 when Alex and I were playing daily fantasy sports. The three co-founders, me, Alex, and Cody, met each other playing Xbox Live in 2008, 2009. We used to meet up because we all lived in Texas and play Halo, and had kept up through the years. Alex and Cody are software engineers. I worked as like a data analyst. Stumbled on NFTs actually with Alex with NBA Top Shot because we were playing DraftKings and losing money using code to generate lineups, and we thought, oh, maybe we could do it better with Top Shot. Got involved really early. And then had watched sort of Top Shot just skyrocket, and there wasn't a lot of resources. So we started building for it and eventually kind of got into Ethereum NFTs. I think we've bought Solana NFTs, recently Aptos. So we like to try the different ones. It started with Top Shot for me, and I can let Alex tell a story as well.
Yeah, like Chris said, started with Top Shot. I think it was really early on. Any pack that you wanted was pretty much available back then. Packs were kind of like come and go as you please. You didn't have to wait in the queue or anything like that. And we saw there was I think there was a few thousand base set packs. And Chris and I think he bought one. I bought three. He pulled I think you also bought a Devin Booker moment, and I bought 3 packs and a few Jazz moments. And we checked back 2 weeks later, and the prices had just kind of skyrocketed. We didn't understand why. And kind of going back and looking in, and it's I think Jonathan Bales wrote some type of article talking about Top Shot and why that was a big, that it was really impactful, very important to the NFT space. And I guess that caused a big rush of a crowd. And after things went up, we had no way of tracking or knowing how, besides the price that went up, we didn't know if there was any tools to kind of track that. And so we decided to go ahead and make Evaluate.
Yeah. And at the time, you're right. There really weren't many tools to evaluate. There was one site, which was intangible.market that Veerman, who's OG Top Shot collector, had kind of created, but it was very just kind of him building it out and just kind of the bare minimum. You just kind of could see your portfolio value. And then I remember when Evaluate came along, and it was all of a sudden you can see the sales volume charts and just all these other analytics that you kind of couldn't see before. And it was whoa, this is really cool. And this is really new. And a lot of people were gravitating towards that. And that's when I was Jennifer Top Shot, making my videos. And I was always using Evaluate and showing the stats and stuff from Evaluate. And then that's how we met, because you guys reached out to me, and I was basically jobless at the time. And started running social, and later got promoted to head of marketing, which is what I'm at now. And yeah, it's just been an awesome journey. Anyway, Top Shot beginnings, I feel like a lot of people really had those Top Shot beginnings for their NFT early stories.
Yeah, that was me too. I remember that very well. I've said it a lot. When did you guys say you launched exactly?
It was around January, February of 2021.
Okay, because I found you guys, it must have been late February, early March. And because I'm a data guy as well, I came from the ticket industry, and that was one of the greatest things about NFTs was the transparency, that we could see everything. I was like, I can find these people that are good traders and watch everything they do. So I found you guys super early, and it's really cool to see that whatever it is, 20 months later, and you guys are still doing awesome stuff. And I spent about 45 minutes on your website before we went live tonight, checking out the new features, saw the website change to .xyz and all that. So it's good to have you guys on. I kudos. And I really early on was one of the very first websites that opened my eyes to the possibilities of NFTs.
Yeah. Awesome. Great. Yeah. It's great hearing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about, why don't you guys tell us about kind of the journey of Evaluate from being that Top Shot analytic tool to now, supporting over 1,000 NFTs, on Flow, on Ethereum, and kind of, just the timeline, the journey of the progression of things.
Yeah. So I think for us, one thing that stood out or was a challenge is that we never really planned to build a company or to start an app. I think we were just into Top Shot and building tools, and over time they caught on. And I think it's definitely been a wild journey because in the beginning, Top Shot was just so explosive. And then obviously there was a bit of a pullback and a lot of people got into ETH NFTs. And I think we sort of what we wanted to do kind of got muddied because, we were adding like these different NFTs and not creating as much for Flow and Top Shot. But overall, I think we've made the app better. I think we've learned a lot about how to scale on the data side because it's tough. There's, probably hundreds of millions of transactions in our database. There's thousands of NFT collections. And so for us, I think learning how to scale that in a way that's responsible, but also new to us was a challenge. But yeah, so eventually we started as a Top Shot app. We quickly added, I think, Eternal and then Evolution on Flow. And so we got to a point where we could add multiple Flow collections. Then we added Bored Ape Yacht Club back when they were like, 0.70 and whatnot. And we're super into that. But realized that like the future was being able to add, all the big collections, and have since gone and done that. So right now, everything with over 1,000 volume in secondary markets on ETH is available on Evaluate, and we're going to continue to lower that threshold and add more. But I think what we're really excited about is the Flow ecosystem. Dapper is one of our early investors and one of our follow-on investors, and we love building for Flow. We're the only place where you can swap Flow NFTs directly from your Dapper wallet. So that's something we're building for, and Flow's done a lot of work to allow for like permissionless deployment, so anybody can deploy a smart contract on Flow, and then also standardizing their metadata so that sites like ours and other sites in the ecosystem can add all of the major Flow NFT collections and support them. So I think by the end of the week, we'll probably have like around 100 NFT collections on Flow automatically ingested. And anytime somebody gets their NFT on Flow on the catalog, it'll automatically be added to our site and will be swappable at one point and viewable in their portfolio. So our goal is to kind of really pursue that and be like a gem or a genie for Flow, while also supporting, the major ETH collections. But yeah, definitely a wild journey, even just on the macroeconomic side, just being able to, back in 2021, anybody could raise, $2, $4, $10 million for NFT sites. Now there's an expectation of going in and actually providing a ton of value, finding product market fit. And in many cases, I think for the later rounds for Series A and Series B, going through and showing that you can either produce revenue now or at the time or like in the near future be able to flip on that switch. So a wild journey that started with just a very niche idea of just like let's let people understand what's going on with NBA Top Shot.
Yeah.
What do you mean by swap? Do you just mean buy and sell? You said you're the only website. I just want to make sure I'm clear on what you were saying there. So you can swap Flow NFTs directly from your Dapper wallet, you said, right?
Yep, exactly. So you and a second person in a peer-to-peer transaction can trustlessly swap 2 NFTs or more. So you could
Okay.
go on our site, match up either with somebody that you know with a trade request, or with somebody that will pair you with in a matter of seconds normally,
Wow.
and then say, I will give you 5 Top Shot moments for these 3 NFL All Day moments, or I'll give you this flow of PFP for some other non-fungible.
Wow, that's really cool functionality. So you could trade Top Shot for all day. It's the only place you can do it. You can't even do it on their websites.
Right. And then on NFL All Day and UFC Strike, you're not even able to gift moments. And on ours right now, you can send 15 over to somebody in a single transaction. So there's a lot of unique functionality, and a lot of work kind of went into working with their team around like the Dapper Wallet integration.
That's really cool. And that's endorsed by them. Like they're obviously cool. It's not like a workaround. Like, yeah.
So Dapper Wallet, there's a very extensive process to sort of get approved to have sort of that on our site. And so we're super thankful to their team, particularly around just the wallet integration, the promotion. We're super helpful today in helping get the word out. But yeah, endorsed and supported by them. That's not to say that the compliance team won't come back in a week and say, hey, can you shut down gifting on all day? Or can you?
Yeah, if someone takes advantage of it. Yeah, you never know. Right.
So it's definitely a fluid situation, but Dapper does a great job with their ecosystem and working with their partners. And it's been a great experience working with them.
That's awesome. That's a really cool piece of functionality. I didn't realize that.
I think that's like the goal for us is sort of to make, I guess, buying NFTs or acquiring NFTs different than like buying toothpaste on Amazon. So on our site, you go, you're matched with somebody, you have a conversation with them, you show them your collection, you can see theirs. And I think it's a fun experience, even just socially, even if you don't swap NFTs. And I think it's a fun alternative, especially when, prices are going down, to just staring at a marketplace page and worrying about the price, just being able to connect with people and swap stuff. We've had a ton of fun with it, and we're hoping it grows from here.
Yeah, I mean, with collectible cards and everything, like trading and swapping is one of the most fun things you can do. So it's I love that. And speaking of that, I got on the La Liga beta for tomorrow. They finally let me into the closed beta, so I'm excited for that.
Dude, the first pack job was literally $250, and I was pissed. So I was like, I'm not doing
that's a lot.
Yeah.
The one tomorrow is like it's $50. There's like a $50 and a $250 one. It's still not cheap. I mean, $50, but
I wish you the best of luck. You'll have to report back. Let me know how it is.
I like getting in early. You grab the early ones and hope to get lucky. Yeah,
I think it was Crypto Poppy tweeted today. Like he was hoping that they would keep the no marketplace dynamic for as long as possible, because it just makes it like so less like high pressure when people are just collecting it and experiencing it. But yeah, I need to check that out. I haven't watched a ton of soccer. I'll watch like the World Cup, but
I'm the same.
But I'll try on you.
Will we be able to support La Liga on our site? Like, I don't know. I guess they're in their closed beta still. So
right, as long as they're added to the Flow NFT catalog, we can at least display them. It's always interesting to display NFTs that don't have a marketplace because you can't price them. But we'll work with their team, and it'd be nice to introduce swapping beforehand. There's other NFTs like Jolly Jokers from the moment that aren't on a marketplace yet. They have plans for that in the future that people have already like swapped for Top Shot moments. So hopefully we can add them soon, but no word from them yet.
Yeah, the trading feature, I mean, it is kind of crazy when you think about it, like being able to actually swap your moments for other moments on different like platforms, but as long as it's within Flow and within Dapper, and you don't have to move the moments either. That's the thing about a lot of other Flow sites is like, okay, you have to move them out of your wallet to a different wallet. You can actually just connect your Dapper wallet and trade from there directly, which is really exciting. I really like the chat feature a lot too, because I'm like, ooh, I can just randomly match with people, or not randomly, but match with people that have similar collections to mine, and just start a conversation, which is always fun, especially if you don't have many people to talk to in the NFT space. I know people always say that for our podcast. They're like, I don't have anyone to talk to, so I just listen to the pod, and I feel like I'm like, in the conversation. But yeah, Alex, let's loop you back in here. Alex, what is one of your favorite features about or what's one of your favorite things about the new trading feature and our site, I guess, the whole revamp that we did?
Yeah, the fact that it's easy to suggest moments. So typically when we match people up, it'll display your most prominent / most expensive high value NFTs first. So we order by highest price to lowest price, and then all your locked moments, whether they're locked because like Top Shot's locking mechanism, locked because we don't support that collection yet. Maybe we support displaying it, but not necessarily swapping it. Those will all be moved to the back. So I'll see the highest value ones first, and then I'll immediately start suggesting them just to see if that person's game to kind of trade their higher tier assets. And if they are, then I can start kind of constructing a trade from there. So I think the ease of use in terms of adding, removing, and suggesting moments is probably my favorite.
Yeah, that is fun. Christian, what about you?
Yeah, I think I like kind of what you touched on, where a lot of the communication and how people meet each other and talk in the Web3 space is like one to many, right? Where you're like shouting into Twitter or shouting into Discord and hoping that people engage. We really like the aspect of sort of matching people one-on-one and letting them sort of look at each other's collections and chat. So that's a big thing for me. I like being able to send emojis in chat. I think so I think like, just the sort of interpersonal one-on-one conversation, I think, is a new dynamic for NFTs. And I think it's a more sort of community centric and community building way of sort of having commerce and sort of transacting with NFTs compared to just, posting on a marketplace and then some anonymous face buys it. And I think early on, I think the first day someone said, hey, I got on just to try it out. I wasn't really expecting to trade, but I did trade, and I made a friend in Top Shot, and it was a lot of fun. For us, that's a big win. And if we can continue to do that and help these communities like get to know each other one-on-one, that's something we're excited about. So yeah, the one-on-one chatting, I think, is my favorite piece of it.
And we're talking a lot about flow here. This is also available for ETH NFTs. I know we have a lot of Ethereum NFT collectors that listen to this. And what's cool about this is that there's a lot of offline trading sites. And I'm curious if you guys can touch on this, but offline trading sites, it's easy for people to get scammed, and they get sent these scam links for trading, and it's just like, you hear about a lot of people getting their assets stolen because they were trying to trade, and it's like, oh, it's just so devastating, right? So what is the advantage of live trading, and how is this a safer alternative?
Cool. Yeah. So I think the first piece that we do is that we only add NFT collections with significant volume, right? So you can go and mint a Bored Ape on something like Manifold, and then not to say that they don't have tools to prevent that, but you couldn't go and mint a Bored Ape and then instantly trade it on Evaluate. It has to have significant secondary volume. So there's a safety piece there. The second one is that it's on Evaluate. It's not like you can get sent a link to it would be very difficult to make a fake Evaluate with a live chat and being able to build trades dynamically. So I think it's harder to replicate, and from a scammer's point of view. And then on the second side, the way we do swaps, make sure that the assets are swapped simultaneously on the same transaction, and it has an expiry on each offer of 5 minutes. So if I went on and I offered you a Moonbird, like a rare Moonbird for a Bored Ape, I couldn't wait, 3 days and then see if Moonbird prices go up and if Bored Apes go down and then execute the swap, right? So we keep it to where the other person has 5 minutes to respond, and you're both there sort of in person looking at the app, which I think makes trading a little bit safer from the price arbitrage standpoint. So yeah, that's the main thing. It's just verifying the assets and not allowing just any NFT collection on the site, doing it live in an interface that's hard to replicate. And then 3, keeping that sort of arbitrage opportunity low by only allowing 5 minutes between the swaps.
Yeah. Michael?
No, that's good. I definitely am going to have some more questions. I was looking over the site. It's really cool that you can see the recent trades. You can watch what people trade. I'm kind of just messing with that right now. I see people trading this clown project for NFL all day moments, and that's really neat. And then I'm picturing in my head that I know Live Nation is going to be using Flow for their tickets. And imagine trading hey, I have a LeBron moment. I want courtside seats to some game. You know what I mean? How cool is that if that ends up being possible?
Yeah, we're super excited about how generic it is. And in terms of whether it's gaming assets, tickets, maybe packs in the future, being able to swap in. We think people will use it for pretty things. And I don't discount Live Nation. I think, was it Liquid Death, which is a water company, shot up to a $200 million value because Live Nation came in and said, oh, we want people to look cool at our events carrying next beer. So It's cool to see brands like Live Nation get involved, or companies like Live Nation. And I think it's so fun to think about the ideas. Like, it could be possible that eventually, like, people will send, like luxury clothing to places that put them in a vault for NFTs, and people will swap clothing items. It could be gaming assets, packs. I think things like Cryptoys is exciting, right? Like Steph works on, where it could be like, like kids assets, or even things like, I think on the swap front, like even things where it's like, if you have a game, maybe you have like ingredient NFTs that you could swap for like a complete one, like if you were, let's say, like having like a crafting requirement, if there's like different ingredients that make a potion NFT that swaps back. So the idea of being able to swap NFTs for other one is super exciting. And it's only more exciting because NFTs can be really a digital representation of anything. And we're hoping, I think a big focus for us is to make our contract open to third parties to build on, because we're excited to see how people sort of implement that idea of swapping across really generic assets.
That's really exciting. There's a lot of really cool possibilities with that swapping across the ecosystem like that.
Yeah. I mean, I go back to thinking about Pokemon for those that did play, and like how you could only acquire certain Pokemon by transferring or swapping them. So if you wanted to like have two Machokes and you wanted them to evolve, you had to swap, and that's how they become a Machamp. So it's like NFTs that evolve with swapping or trading, or that transform after they get swapped or trading, is pretty interesting too.
Yeah.
Also, you had Michael touched on, you can see kind of the recent trades. We also, one of our devs, Matt, built a bot that tweets out every time there's a trade. So we have Evaluate swap bot. And you can literally see every single trade that happens, which is kind of cool. And that's especially fun to see like the bigger trades coming through. Like there was like a legendary moment trade today, and it's kind of fun like watching it all. Oh, thanks.
Nice. I just followed.
Hey, new follower.
Yeah, let's go. That's awesome.
Yeah, that Van Fleet holo is pretty wild. I didn't expect there to be a holo icon day one, but yeah, that's awesome to see.
When did the swapping open? Is that just super recently?
Yeah, so we did a sort of like an early access for people, part of the 9 Lives Lounge, which is like a club of people that have an entire set of Top Shot moments. I think there's around 1,000 of them. So we've had it open for a couple of days. Most of the trades have been today, obviously, with the public release. We've already done around 300 swaps already. And we're hoping we can kind of continue to grow that number, and maybe even do things like events for like, NFT collections. Let's say, your community is kind of quiet, you want to do something that hosts everybody. We might do something where it's like, let's set a date for your community to get on and swap different NFTs they have in that collection. So we're excited. We want to extend sort of the bot even further beyond the flow ones. But it is cool to kind of like, I've put my notifications on, so it's cool to see some of these like PFP for Top Shot moment swaps happening. And I think it makes the whole ecosystem a little bit more interoperable and live in the same universe, compared to like when you like Top Shot on Top Shot site, and, like Jolly Jokers on a different site, and, Ballers on Gaia. I think it brings them together a little bit.
Yeah, it's actually super, super cool. I see people trading NBA Top Shot for NFL moments, and that's a lot, 300. And you guys just let people do it for free, I presume?
Yeah, so right now,
cost. Yeah,
we're doing it for free during the beta period. We want to get the tool in front of people. We want to see how people use it, and we want to know what's fair if we do, eventually charge a fee. But yeah, the idea right now is just to like add value, and it's really the first Dapper wallet sort of trading tool when you think about like NFTs for NFTs. And so we just want to learn, how people are using it, what's fair to charge, if we should charge a fee, and we're doing that during the beta period.
Cool.
Yeah. It's literally just this morning we were like, okay, press live, and then everything is live, and then we're like, we're all super excited. We've been, behind the scenes, we've been working on this for months. I mean, it's crazy how long. And then, you think, we're close to launching, and then it's like, stuff happens and then keeps getting pushed back. And we've really been building this out for quite a while, even though on Flow, we didn't really have the ability to do this until recently, like a couple weeks ago. So we were kind of building it for ETH, and then it just so happened that, yes, we can make it on Flow too, which was the hope. It's kind of like build and then ask permission, and then hopefully they say yes. But yeah, what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, one of the things I really like too is like, oh, I don't have to go to all these different sites to see my NFTs. It kind of reminds me of OpenSea, where it's like I can just see everything instead of going to or I guess for ETH NFTs it's a little different, but for Flow NFTs anyways, it's like, Top Shot, I have to go to NBATopShot.com, NFLAllDay.com, I got to go to UFCStrike.com, all these different sites to see all my different NFTs, and it gets like just a lot. But, on Evaluate, it's like I can see it all in one, which is just super nice for me because I just have so many NFTs in all these different locations. So that's super clutch.
I actually agree 100% about that because it is a pain to have to go to UFC Strike and NFL All Day and Top Shot. Do you guys, even though they can't be traded or anything, do you display unopened packs or does that not show up yet?
Yeah, not yet. I think we will soon, at least for NFL All Day. We can do it when they're NFTs, right? So that's kind of how we build, is just the back end really just ingest the Flow and Ethereum blockchain and display what's in your wallet. So I think that the major IPs on Flow are pushing towards doing packs as NFTs. And we'll be able to display it then and even value it then when people are able to swap them or trade them on the marketplace. And yeah, you're exactly right. I think the aggregation on Flow, there's such a huge opportunity. Imagine if on ETH, if you could only buy Bored Apes from like BoredApe.com and you can only buy Coolcats from Coolcats.com, something like an OpenSea, which is like a blockchain explorer underneath a marketplace, and even some of the ones that are a layer above that with like Gem and Genie, where they're bringing these different marketplace fees into one. There's a massive opportunity on Flow for that because it's just the individual storefronts and the different marketplaces. And that's where we're spending a lot of our time thinking about. And it's interesting, like from the transaction point, like we have people at the end of the year always like, oh, I'm trying to do my taxes. Can you get me this form? And they're like, how are we in this position where people are asking for tax forms when we're, like a third party? But it's super useful. And I love that too, just being able to see, like, keep track of like what's going on these different websites on Flow.
Yeah.
If we can trade packs, I will trade so many of my packs for S1. If anyone's listening to this, as soon as packs are on chain, meet me in the trade lobby if you have any S1 packs, because I'm ready. I'm about it. I only have 2 S1. All my other ones are like S2, S3, S summer or whatever, series summer 2021 and S3, S4. I'm like, I need the S1s already. I'm like waiting for the marketplace to open. But anyway.
Yeah, you can trade multiple S2 or S3 packs for maybe some S1 packs. You don't even need to trade movements.
Exactly.
Packs to packs.
Yeah. Yep. That's what I would do. That's literally what I would do. Yeah.
How far away are you from the complete set of S1? Pretty far? Are you
like the base set?
Yeah, I don't
base. I'm far because I'm a floor scrape buyer, so I have a lot of trash players.
Yeah.
So I have the cheap ones, so I don't really have like the expensive good ones for like the base set. So but I have one. Actually, I have 2. I think I have 2 S1 sets complete. It's like the early adopter set, and then I have the S1 finals rare set complete. I think those are the 2 that I have.
Not bad.
Yeah, me and Alex, we always fight about who has the better collection of Top Shot and the better collection of NFTs in general.
Yeah, I think she slightly wins in Top Shot and probably really wins in overall.
No, I was just looking at yours. You have 2,600 Top Shot moments. I only have 1,000.
But a lot of them are not. They're like trade ticket level, but I do complete set. I have like 35 completed sets, so that's probably what I got. Yeah, I try to complete as much as possible. Yeah, I don't think I have any legendary sets completed. Most of them are just like rare and all the common ones, but I think I have a few S1s. Like I have Got Game, I have the one early adopters, and there's some other common S1s that I completed just to make sure I got that. But yeah, I just try to. I don't know what it is. Top Shot's got me hooked with completing sets, but I do that.
Yeah, we get a bit competitive over at Evaluate. Also, fun fact, Alex actually got me into non-fungible fungi, which we had them on so freaking long ago, Henry. Yeah. And yeah, Alex.
Yeah,
got me into non-fungible fungi. I just gave one away actually for our 100th episode.
Yeah, I love the guys over at NFF. They great dudes. I think they're all from like the UK. I don't know what it is about the UK accents, but I definitely fall for it. But
yes,
in terms of like the RLZ kills it. Like those things have so much life, so much they're so animated, and yeah, I think collecting them is a lot of fun. I think I have like 30 of them or something like that. I think they're doing something with like some type of burn mechanic with I can't remember off the top of my head what the new mushrooms are, but they're doing a completely new set, so that's pretty exciting. But yeah, I love the art.
Yeah, they do have really cool art. Which, yeah, oh man, speaking of the 100th episode, we have so much to talk about on the next Sunday recap because, man, everything has been so busy for me and Michael lately. He's been traveling a lot. You guys know he went to NFT London, which we got to talk about. We'll talk about on Sunday. I've been really busy with, Evaluate. I mean, we just launched our new trading feature. And, but yeah, I was going to say thank you to everybody who claimed the POAPs. I don't even think we've said that yet, but
no, I know it's been so long. It feels like we haven't recorded in like 2 months.
I know. I'm like, literally, we popped in today in our Zoom, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, is this a reunion? I haven't seen you guys in forever." I'm used to seeing them every week. Okay, officially, 200 POAPs have been claimed. We ran out of claim links, by the way. They wouldn't send us more. They were sending us a certain amount at a time, but anyway, yeah, so all of the POAPs have been claimed, FYI. But yeah, thank you guys for listening in to that 100th episode and celebrating with us.
Yeah, I got a lot of comments, and then I got a couple messages recently. Is everything all right? You guys still going? Yeah, we're going.
Well, after 100, we just had to quit.
Yeah, that's it. Well done.
Yeah.
Nice job.
No,
we're going to get back on track. Yeah, we're going to get back on track.
Okay, I mean, fun fact, we did record another episode before this one, but it got a little held up with, getting approved to be posted, basically.
It went live for like 12 hours, I think, right? And then they were like, actually,
no, it was
we
like
might need
6
that.
hours. It was like 6 hours. But yeah, and then we had to rug it because they were like, oh, actually, we need to like approve this. So now that we're interviewing these these famous people, we really can't just post our episodes freely. But anyway, that's why we were gone for so long. I'm sorry, you guys, about the 2-week break. But anyway, please forgive us. We'll be back to our regular schedule soon enough.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so yeah, what else with this trading feature that people don't know about? I mean, definitely try it out. Evaluate.xyz. Like I said, I think I said this in the very beginning. We didn't really even touch on this. We launched the new trading feature, and we also rebranded as well. So we have a new logo. We have a new name. We're not just Evaluate Market anymore. Now we're Evaluate, Evaluate.xyz. That's very exciting. I was not gonna lie, I was kind of sad about when we changed the logo. I was so attached to the old one. I was like, no. They were like, it's gonna be fine, Jennifer. The new one's good. But now I like it. But I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little like sad about it. I was attached.
Yeah, it took a couple of weeks of convincing. Just one quick tidbit on the maybe things that might have like missed or gone over. On ETH, you can actually not just swap NFTs, but also add a little WETH into it too. So let's say you wanted to trade a Moonbird for a Bored Ape. Maybe you need to throw in like 5 ETH as well, 5 WETH. You can do that as part of our swapping feature. That is
the apes haven't fallen that far yet. You got to add a little more. You got to add a little more than that.
Michael's over here like, really?
Excuse me. I know we went into the 40s the other day, but let's
maybe like a gold Moonbird.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sorry, the most rare Moonbird. I should.
Yeah, like a floor ape for like the most rare Moonbird. Yeah. And a couple. Okay.
Yeah. So we're fully supported, working right now on Evaluate. For ETH, for Flow, we weren't able to get that approval. To get Dapper wallet access, we kind of had to comply, and there's a lot of ways to circumvent the marketplace fees that those IPs have. And if you are able to, like, let's say, instead of buying on the marketplace, you just buy and Evaluate, those IPs would not get that 5% or whatever those IP holders are charging. And so to comply and to be able to get Dapper wallet access, we had to forego that for the current time, but for ETH, it's fully supported.
So how's the functionality work? So say we want to make that trade. Say Jennifer wants to trade her doodle for one of my smiles.
Oh,
Yeah,
come
for my
on.
board ape.
My doodles haven't fallen that far. Look at your smile.
Sure. So, if you guys are coming in,
right.
let's say you guys are coming in offline, don't even know. You both go to Evaluate.xyz. At the very homepage, it'll direct you to like the trading swap homepage. And in there, it'll say active traders. And there's a little search bar where you can start typing in a trader's name. Now, if you guys have been there at Evaluate before, you can totally just search their username. But if you haven't set their username, you can just use a wallet address. Obviously, I think I missed the first step. When you first go, you connect your wallet. We support a ton of wallets. You would connect, let's say, your MetaMask. And then you would copy paste, let's say Jennifer's whatever wallet address is. And then you would send her a trade request. On Jennifer's screen, she would get a little notification that says, hey, so-and-so wants to trade or send you a trade request. She would accept that. It would plop you both into a lobby. And then from there, you guys just kind of, negotiate and do your thing.
And then it'll so once we both accept it, and then do you each pay the gas to send to the other person?
Yeah, so we randomly assign one person to pay the gas. It's usually a very small amount, similar to like gifting on OpenSea. So it's randomly set. And then the proposal lasts for 5 minutes. So, if you make the proposal, the other person has 5 minutes to execute it.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the functionality there is sort of the and you build it I don't know if you guys have played like RuneScape or World of Warcraft, but it's very similar to that, where like you both bring in from your inventory, you click and drag the items up and build the trade that way. And then one person sends the offer and the other person accepts it. But the whole process takes maybe like a minute or two. And super easy and both online, right? So there's an opportunity to negotiate and chat and really figure the details out.
Really neat. So if she sends me an offer and I don't like it, I can send a counter, or does it have to be like a whole new offer?
Nope. Yeah. So if she hits send offer, you'll see like a little summary, like she offered your her doodle for your Bored Ape. You could hit accept and go to the signing stage, or you can hit decline.
I would never in a million years accept that.
And if you hit decline, then you're just back to that first step where you're building the trade. So it doesn't have to be like a new process each time you do it.
Cool. Love it.
Yeah, and I actually did an ETH one today, and it was only 95 cents. The
gas has been amazing for months now. Remember, it used to be like we were literally paying like $100 every transaction on ETH.
That was you.
I was for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy, and like it could get back there one day. I hope it doesn't, but like gas has been amazing for a long time now.
Yeah, definitely beats. I remember like in sort of the minting war phase when it was like, you'd add like, I think for other side, I think I might have added like half an ETH or whole ETH or something. Like,
oh yeah, people were for sure.
Oh, it was such a wild dynamic. And now it's like whenever you see anything that's under like $40, which is always like $1 or $2, you're like, oh, it's. I would never do that. I would never like order DoorDash and pay a $40 delivery fee. But for NFT, because we paid hundreds, there's really no price sensitivity at all.
Yeah, I remember when I was sitting at my computer with my brother-in-law one time, who I worked with in tickets, and I was like trying to buy an NFT. I was like, I'm probably not even going to get it, but I'm going to take a shot because it was something that I knew was minting fast, and it was like $100 in gas. He's like, if you don't get it, you're just going to lose this $100. He's like, what kind of scam is this? It's just the way it was. I was like, well, if I do get it, it'll be worth thousands. So.
Yeah, I got a throwback. I'm probably clown of the show for this, but I lost $500 on Bulls on the Block trying to mint them, and so I ended up not getting any
Bulls on the Block. Yeah, I remember that mint.
Super big throwback, but yeah, I lost. I was just trying to mint them.
Wow. Yeah, I believe it or not, lost a couple thousand, I think, during VFriends mint because the website was weird. It was like one of my very first times doing ETH NFTs, and I didn't know what was going on. And I kept putting this transaction through because it didn't look like it was going. And then I looked in my pending in MetaMask, and I had like 7, and I had to cancel them all, and had to pay the gas on the cancels. And gas was like $400 when you were minting the VFriends at that time.
Yeah,
that's painful.
Yeah, that was a learning experience. It made it all better when the project blew up. I was like, all right, so at least it, still made a bunch of money. But
yeah, no, it's like the mania was crazy. I remember like because I use a ledger. I remember like always just feeling so bummed when you like go to mint something and then your ledger's like you need to update your firmware, and then you got like a stuck pending transaction in MetaMask. But yeah, no, the drops back then were particularly I think like after Bored Ape, I think like Gutter Cats, with like the
Right.
early one, and then like Fools on the Block, Vogu, like all those ones were always super
Yeah,
nuts.
Oni Force. There were a
Yeah.
lot that got crazy back then. Yeah, for sure.
Mechaverse, I think, was nuts. I didn't do that one, but
Of course. Yeah.
but yeah, no, those were such a different time versus now, where it's like you got to dedicate your life and soul to being in their Discord to even get a shot. But back then, it was the Wild West, and whoever's willing to lose $1,000 in gas.
Crazy times.
Maybe that's why I never did too well. I was never willing to lose a bunch of money in gas
for nothing.
I was like, no, that does not sound appealing to me. But yeah, also one more thing that I don't know if we mentioned this already. I don't think we did, but you can also send without receiving anything in return. So it doesn't have to be a trade. You can also just mass gift. Like you can send 15 NFL all day moments in one transaction, and with NFTs or ETH NFTs as well, like send a bunch at once. And so it can be pretty easy to just gift over a bunch of NFTs as well if you want to.
If anybody wants to test that out and send it to mine, I'm going to log in and give you my NFL all day. Just to test it out. I mean, you can definitely send me. I'm an Eagles fan, so feel free.
Send me some Eagle moments.
Yeah.
We should do a trade together, Michael. You know what? Give me some of your S1 comments.
I don't have any S1. But I have. If I got in for S2, and then the only thing I have like a bunch of junk, and then I have like 15 or 20 LeBrons. So that's really all I have. I was like collecting him for a little while.
LeBron.
I don't even think they're worth all that much. My NFL all day account is 23 Keen. I love the Eagles. Keen.
Oh,
like
that's your username? I was like,
yeah, 23 Keen.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, one thing I experienced in the size, my Top Shot account isn't that impressive. It's probably worth like $700 or something. But I'll get on the site and then I'll match with somebody and they'll look at my Top Shot account and skip me in like 5 seconds.
So they're like, always, next partner.
Yeah.
So that's always a little depressing.
Ooh, I have 8 NFL all day packs just chilling. I haven't opened any yet. Yeah.
Oh, I must have inspired you.
Yeah, I was saying, don't make Jennifer's mistake. I would pop all those open.
Really? Why is that a mistake? I don't think any of them should have been popped open.
See, so I would argue with Jennifer's. Had she opened them when Top Shot was at its height, she could have sold them for more. And so it's like, but yeah, it's hard for me. I'm super impulsive. I think I tried max packs for all of I think I held like 5 packs at the most, and then all open. So
right.
Give me advice for that.
Yeah, selling at the top is, I guess it's harder than it seems because not a lot of us did.
Yeah, RIP. I opened a bunch of Top Shot or NFL all day packs like recently and like sold a bunch of moments and stuff because it was pumping. I think that was when it was starting to top the charts and we were like saying it in our like at the end of the episodes and it was like in the top 10 and I was like, oh shoot, I need to go in there.
Yeah, let me get back in there and look. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was great opportunity. But yeah, it's kind of like it's hard because it's like with holding packs or holding NFTs, it's like you either have to sell, right away or like strike when the iron's hot, right? Or you have to hold for a really freaking long time. Like, it's like for me, I'm playing the long game, like years. Like it has to be years. It's like CryptoPunks. They weren't, people were I remember Snowfro like claimed a bunch when they first came out and then he just freaking held them for like 5 years and it's like and only then were they finally worth something and it's just like it's you really have to play the long game and hold your breath and hope
very long. I know.
Yeah, and then even then doesn't mean it'll be worth anything, but you're just kind of that's what you're voting for, right?
Yeah, a quick thought on that. You're also playing it on hard mode too because everything on the blockchain is public. So if you're not on top of like in that pack that you would have opened, what's left in it and what you can potentially pull, you could really lose out.
Right,
so like, let's say tomorrow that pack you're holding, somebody pulls the number 1 serial LeBron. All of a sudden, there's no more valuable LeBrons left. The value of the overall pack goes down, and if you're not on top of that, like you can really miss out. But vice versa, if people don't are unlucky and don't pull the coveted moments, then maybe you're sitting on like a gold mine and you just don't even know it.
Very true.
hit or miss.
Yeah, it's a tough game to play. I see. My thing is when I open the packs, I never get anything good, so I'm like, I'm going to keep them shut.
That's the technique. If you don't open them, then they're not bad moments.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. That's the logic.
Yeah. Talk about selling the top, by the way. I had the conversation with my wife today. She asked me how much the Bored Ape was worth. I was like, about 70 grand. And she was like, wasn't it worth 450,000 like 6 months ago? Yeah, it was. But I was like, yeah, but 3 days ago, I was like, yeah, but 3 days ago it was worth like 60 grand. So it's actually up. So we're crushing it right now.
Hey, she's like, yeah, but
no, she's like, she said, she was like, you should have sold that. She looked at I was like, I thought it was going to $1 million.
You're like, look, it's my podcast branding. I can't sell it. Yeah, I actually just had that conversation with my boyfriend. He's like, you should have sold it when it was worth 50K or doodle. And I'm like, and it's so hard being a holder. Everyone's always trying to bag on you, like, oh, you should have sold it. It's like, damn, just let me hold in peace,
I know. Oh, my friends. Yeah, my cousin Jeff. I was in Detroit with him a couple months ago for the Eagles game, and I had told him it went down from like all the way from 450 to like 100,000, and he was like, "You're such an idiot." He was telling me, "Oh my god."
Yeah, I remember. I sold my Bored Ape, or the second one I sold. The first one I sold for like $800. But I sold it in January of this year, and I remember just feeling sick to my stomach when I was seeing it hit like 450. But it's wild. Nobody knows in 6 months they can be back, and
it could be back, or it could just, I don't know. I hope it does come back.
Chris,
it's kind of depressing.
Who or what convinced you to sell that first Bored Ape? Just curious.
I knew you were going to bring this up, Alex. Well, okay. So yes, I will admit, okay, fine. You know what? I guess I'm a hypocrite because when Bored Apes first came out and Christian had one, and I think it got to like 2 ETH, and I was like, Christian, sell. And I was really like freaking bullying him to sell, and he didn't. And which was great. Like he really, he was forming diamond hands, but I kept telling him to sell every step of the way. Every time it was a new milestone, sell. And then I stopped because I was like, okay, clearly I'm wrong here. But yes, okay.
The exact opposite happened with my Cool Cat, where I was like, I'm going to sell my Cool Cat. Jennifer goes, but we all three of us have Cool Cats. And I was like,
together.
Yeah, I was like, I guess I can't at this point. Delisted.
I know. I was like, how dare you list your Cool Cat?
I know.
And now it's down to like 1K or something.
It's always weird seeing the person who buys, like if you sell an ape or a Cool Cat, seeing the person who buy it, put it immediately on Twitter. My cousin sold his ape, and I think the Pixelmon founder bought it and was like tweeting from it. And then I think I sold mine, and like somebody was like being really critical and like using like really harsh language, somebody on Twitter, and like, oh, it feels like somebody's got my identity and is like, sort of commanding it or I guess like tarnishing it. But it's always weird to sell those PFPs, especially the valuable ones.
Right, because it's like it's non-fungible. Like it's exactly the one. If I ever do sell the ape, somebody's gonna buy it and want to use it.
Right.
They're gonna have to be the podcast co-host. They're gonna have to be my new podcast.
They're gonna. Oh wow, is that how whoever owns this ape is the
whoever owns it?
Does that make it more valuable or less valuable?
Oh, come on. Okay, yeah. I mean, that'd be weird to see another Michael Keane out there. Like if you sold it, no, that's Michael Keane.
I know.
That would be wild.
Yep, I'd need some new T-shirts.
You'd have to go back to that mall,
Yeah, exactly. The mall in Minnesota. Right.
Mm-hmm. All right. As we're wrapping this up, any last questions, Michael? Anything else we want to cover?
Not too much. I always typically ask though what everybody's favorite kind of artists or projects are in this space. If you guys have anybody or projects or artists you want to shout out and say what's up to, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I'm a Thomas Len Peterson show from Art Blocks. I'm big on the Screens collection. I want to get into Rapture too, but yeah, I really like Art Blocks. I'm hoping to eventually to kind of shift my collection more towards that. And then obviously the Flow stuff. I love pretty much everything on Flow, whether it's the sports stuff and the PFPs. I think Pirates of the Metaverse is the latest one we've got on. So yeah, that's my answer.
Yeah,
there's a Pirates of the Metaverse on ETH. Is it the same?
Yep.
Oh, and they're doing the 2D ones over on Flow, right?
Yep. So
I did see that.
Those.
I got to check that out. I'm a holder. I got to see what they're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Copy Chris's answer on Flow. Yeah, everything Flow for sure. But I already shouted out my ETH one. It's non-fungible fungi. LZ's a fantastic artist, so I don't mind shouting them out again.
That's what's up.
Yeah, they're awesome. I love those fungi. They just look so cool. Like I definitely have a bunch too. I feel like I have like maybe 20. I don't know. I moved them around as well. So, but yeah, okay, cool. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on the show. It was great having you. And I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. Michael, Jennifer, thank you so much. Congratulations on 100 episodes.
Thanks.
Yeah, we'll be listening to you guys going forward, of course. And yeah, thanks so much for having us on.
What a pleasure.
Woo! All right. Okay, well, with that said, thank you all for listening to this episode, and we will catch you in the next one. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to the NFT Catcher Podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode and learned something new about the exciting world of NFTs. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a moment to subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And if you really love what you're hearing, please leave us a rating and review on your favorite platform. If you want to stay up to date with the latest news and insights from the NFT space, be sure to follow us on all the socials at NFT Catcher Pod. You can follow Jennifer at Jennifer_pseudo and Michael at NFTicket. I'm your producer, Andy, and I'm at AJC254. Our theme song's by It's Just Los. We always appreciate your feedback and support, which helps us reach more people and bring you informative and engaging content about NFTs. We look forward to bringing you more great NFT content in future episodes. Thanks for listening. Peace.